Hello everyone! Today we're going back to KenShape. So if you remember, I've already did this live stream about KenShape, a great tool from Kenney. And today I'd like to go back to it because if you heard the news, KenShape is now on Epic Games Store. In fact, it's one of the first apps instead of games on the Epic Games Store. So yeah, we'll try it out. Welcome everybody on the live stream. I hope you will have some fun. So I have a list of things that I will create in the KenShape today. But of course, as always, if you have any suggestions for creating what would you like me to create, be sure to comment on the live chat. So if you don't know, KenShape is a great tool from Kenney, which is the asset guide. You might seen some of the assets he created. KenShape is this great tool that allows you to basically create a simple 2D pixel art and export it as a 3D object. You basically just create pixels, then you add depth to them, and then out of it you just create a 3D model which you can basically import into Unity. So today's scenario, as you can see in the title, is to build like a very simple 3D village or city, or however you'd like to call it. So here in Unity, I've prepared this very basic 3D scene, which basically you need to imagine that this blue one is a sky, a green one is grass, and the yellow in the middle is a path, like path going forward. And our task will be to create some kind of houses, trees, bushes, and so on to make this city like more alive. At least to make a city or to have anything. Okay, so here I have KenShape already prepared, and I think we can start with 16 by 16 model. And let's create a very simple tree just to begin with. So as a recap, first I just draw some pixels with this color palette and some tools. So this is the first edition. Before I could only draw with just like pen tool, which allows you to draw individual pixels. But now there are some other tools like line tool, which is pretty handy, and the fill tool, which is like a filling bucket in other apps. Also, you have some mirror options, so I can basically create this mirrored tree. So maybe I will do something like that. So let's go with this shape. That, okay, and yeah, okay, this is very basic tree, there's nothing special about it, but I think by adding some depth into it, we can create it far more interesting. So my idea will be to first, let's make everything with the depth of 2, like that, and let's start changing the depth from the inside. So for example, not filling, but the line tool. So now I will start to do something like this. I know it may be a bit, you can't really see what's happening here, but you can see here at the bottom the live preview basically. Which is, yeah, it's much better to preview it. And there is this third tab called model, which allows you to basically rotate your model, and which is also really new. And to be honest, this is one of the most interesting features for me, because previously you only had that like 8 depth options, but now additionally, you can change the depth of the overall model. So for example, I can make this tree thicker like that. Of course, we don't want to do that, but it comes handy at some situations. Maybe we'll use that later. Okay, so let's continue with adding that depth to our tree. So as before, I'm just changing these values going from the inside, so the inside will be like the thickest, and with every like leaf going to the border, it becomes like lighter. Okay, so here we have 6. I think we can stop with that. And yeah, what do you think? I think it looks pretty nice. And now if I will add this overall depth to maybe, let's change it to 180%, it looks much better. Like, imagine this is the basic one. That was the thing we could do previously, but now we can basically make whole tree thicker, which is great in this situation. Okay, I think that's a finished model. We can work with that. So here we have this for this export tab, and here we can basically select all options. If someone is interested, there is this new option SVG, which basically exports a 2D model, just SVG with the all the pixels set in the drawing tab. But in case of Unity, we like to select 3D and this second export format. Let's export it. Let's call it for now tree 3. Save. Okay. And let's jump into Unity and see how we can use this tree we've just created. So here I will import our new model. Okay. And here is our tree. This is not the best Unity scene. I'm totally aware of that, but I think after adding some objects, it will be good enough. So yes, this is our tree. I think it's a bit too big, but we'll set that later after we'll have some other objects. So this is our first tree. Let's duplicate it and maybe move it to the other side. Let's change position and let's add one more maybe here at the front. Okay, so our path already looks much better. In fact, I've created this very basic camera animation that if I will play it, you can see the smooth camera movement that goes forward, which will be pretty nice after we'll build all of this city. Okay, let's continue with the second model. I think we should stay with trees. So let's create another kind of tree. So here in the KenShape, let's select new model and let's also make it 16 by 16. I will draw something like that, and here at the top, let's start with this shape. Also pretty basic one, but this is why I love this tool, because I can create any model I like. I like every model, but very simple ones. Okay, so this is our tree. I think right now it's very boring, but by adding depth, we can change that a bit. So okay, let's make that 2, and here at the top I will fill 5 to start with, or maybe even 6. Okay, something like that. That's already much better. And now we'll start sculpting. So let's do something like that. Okay, to create like roundness effect. That's pretty funny. And here in the middle, I will also create this kind of shape. Okay, like that. That should also create this effect of roundness to the tree. In fact, I think that we can also add like one more line here at the right and at the left of the tree, and change depth of it to maybe 3. That way we can give this effect, maybe let's change it to 4. And yeah, okay. Last but not least, let's change the overall depth control like that. Raspberry Bush, okay, let's do it in just a second. I will do it in just a second. Okay, that's a cool tree. Let's quickly export it. Let's call it tree 4. Save. And here in Unity, I will quickly import it. Tree 4. And let's check how it looks at in our scene. Okay, so this is the tree. Okay, it's nice. I think it's a little bit too big, so I will change the scale of it to 0.8 maybe. Okay, and let's position it properly. So I will do something like that. Of course, I won't be creating a forest here, but that will be a job for some kind of maybe tool to generate trees. But for just very simple visualization of our village, let's do something like that for now. Okay, and once more, this smooth camera now shows our trees, which, yeah, it starts to look somehow. So I think we can continue with that. Raspberry bush, raspberry bush. Okay, let's do it. So I will create new model, 16 by 16, and let's do something. Okay, this won't have any particular shape, I think. We'll just use this pen tool. In fact, it's called pencil, okay? Pencil tool. And let's do something like this. Okay. I will fill that in. Maybe let's add some pink colors to add some fruits, okay? And now we can basically try to fill that with some depth of 3, and maybe let's add that middle depth like that, and even 5 here at the bottom maybe. Okay, it's not the best, but I guess that's something. I think in the scene it will look pretty nice, to be honest. So maybe let's make it thicker, like that. Okay, and quickly let's export it. Let's call it bush. Wait, bush. Save it. And in Unity, let's import it quickly. So, oh no, I closed my... Ooh. Okay, I need to quickly open my folder with all the saved assets. So test, open package contents, C, users. Okay, bush. How does it look like on the scene? Okay, it's of course too large, so let's make it 0.5. Still 0.3. Okay, that's much better. And now let's move it closer to the ground. And position it here on the right. Let's rotate it. Hello there. On the live stream, we are building this 3D village using KenShape tool from Kenney, which has been recently updated with some nice features that help a lot with building all these 3D models. So as you can see, we've already created 3 models, and yeah, let's maybe create 2 more. So yeah, because I'm saying this is a village. Currently it's a forest, basically. Let's create a very simple house, maybe. So, okay, let's click here in the KenShape, new. House might be big enough to make it 24 by 24, but for now I will try to stick with 16 by 16. We'll see how that goes. So okay, this will be the basic shape of the house, like that. Okay, let's fill that in. Then I will make a simple like roof. Okay, maybe I will work on colors later. And then I imagine that our house will have this some kind of stairs, maybe. So I will add this small little stair at the bottom and the doors like that. Finally, let's also create some windows. And yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so here on the chat I have a question. What is KenShape? KenShape is a tool we are of course currently using. So this is a tool made by Kenney, which allows you to basically create very simple 3D models out of this 2D pixel art. So if I go to model, I can already see that our house has some depth, and we can also modify it. So for example, right now I'd like to have our roof closer to the front. This second part of the roof will be a bit further, maybe even the depth of 4. Okay, and then we'll also like to have our this step at the bottom also a little bit closer to our screen, so maybe like that. And finally, let's make our doors also a little bit closer. Okay, and let's see how does it look like in the model. Oh, actually it doesn't look that bad. Of course, we need to change that overall depth a little bit. And okay, you know what, I will also modify, I will make some tweaks to this depth. So maybe I will make everything 5, then I will make stairs like 8. Okay, and then also let's make roof 8, and let's see how will it look like. Maybe this middle part will be 6. Okay, and let's check the model. So this is our house. Of course, the big problem with KenShape is that all models are like mirrored. So this house is great, but the secret of this house is that at the back it looks completely the same. But okay, in our game for now that doesn't matter, but you need to take that have that in mind, because of course in your game that will look just stupid if you will have a house with 2 doors at the front and at the back. Okay, so finally, you know what, I will make this middle part only a little bit like smaller depth, and that way it will be more in the middle. And okay, let's export it. The colors maybe are not the greatest, but okay. Oops, sorry. House 2 saved. And finally, here in Unity, this is our scene we've already created with all the trees, bushes, and so on. Let's import our house. This is our house, and here it is. Of course, in your game, you like to have some kind of maybe shading. That way your house, even though it's really plain with that one color, but with some kind of maybe materials, shaders, you can make that much better. But so for now, let's stick to that. Let's move this tree maybe here. And we will maybe also create a second house, which will be here, very far from the camera. Okay, we can now finally say this is some kind of village where you can imagine that people are living because there are houses. Great. Okay, the last thing I've noted to maybe create today will be basically a well. So to take water or whatever. So back to the KenShape. Let's start a new model. If you have any idea to create other model for our scene, go ahead and write that in the chat. This is my last idea for this live stream. So let's create new. The well model won't be that interesting, I think. So my idea will be to basically draw something like that, which will be this bottom part made out of stones. Then there will be this top part made out of wood, which looks something like that. Let's make this wood at the very top dark. Okay, and then there is a small little line that holds the bucket. Maybe this yellow one doesn't look like that great. Let's make it like that. Okay. This looks really bad, but let's try to fix that with some depth. So I will start by making everything with the depth of 3, like that. And then let's change this bottom part to depth of 5. Okay. Oh no. I need to do that manually. Okay. So this is version 1.2.1, I believe, and it still has some bugs, but overall it's much better than the previous version I tested, which was basically version 1.0 released a few hours before the live stream. So that's it. Okay. I forgot to make line also 1. So it won't stick that much. And then maybe let's add a little bit of the roundness to the bottom part. So something like that. We'll see how it goes. Okay, and one more step like that. Okay, so right now it doesn't look that great, but if I will change the overall depth, it maybe looks a bit better. Not that much. Maybe I've made a bit too big step here. So let's fix that. Also, I will make this, or maybe not. Yeah, I will make this last part also with the depth of 3. Okay, exactly. And yeah, I guess that will be it. It's not the best well I've ever seen, but I guess it will work for our city. So let's export it. Export. save, and let's finally import it to Unity. Models, well, okay. And let's position it somewhere closely to the house. I will also need to change the scale of it to 0.5 maybe. Okay. And let's rotate it finally, like that. Of course, the tree is on the way, and yeah, I guess that's it. So finally, let's play that smooth animation with the camera that shows you all the village we've created. I guess that will be it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm having a lot of fun with this app, and while it's not that professional to maybe create models for AAA game, I think that with some creativity you can create a really great pixel art like models, voxel models, which can come pretty handy in your game. So go ahead, check out KenShape from Kenney. It's really cheap. It's on Epic Game Store and on itch.io. And yeah, that will be it. Thanks a lot everyone for tuning in. See you on my other videos and on my other live streams, and be sure to check out Coco Code Discord server to talk with other game devs. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.